Tara, tell me about a time when you had to deal with ambiguity in a work setting.
Yes, that was my entire internship. I was at Procter& and Gamble this past summer, and it's crazy. When you go to a company, they throw you in. You've got 3 months to get your projects done, and you're like on a different planet. I mean, you don't know the acronyms. You don't know how the organizations work. You don't know who does what. I mean, so you don't know when you're standing in an elevator with an executive. You don't know anything about the organization. So that's the epitome of ambiguity. That being said, I had some projects that I had to get done in 3 months, so you really can't waste time trying to figure things out. So it was really important to me to make sure that I was reaching out to those resources that were available, and not wasting time trying to figure things out on my own. So, for example, things with acronyms. If I was sitting in a meeting, I would often sit next to my manager if she was there and tell her, I get lost in acronyms. Can you help me out with these? And I would write the acronyms down on a notebook and kind of pass it her way. She'd write what it meant, and if I needed more explanation later, she can help me. That way I didn't get lost at that moment. When it came to approaching projects, looking for tools or models or questionnaires, things that have been used before, I would call a lot of my contacts. I was in Boston, so I was kind of on my own, but I'd call the contacts at headquarters in Cincinnati and say, have you ever dealt with an experience like this? Or a situation like this? What'd you do? What do you wish you would have done? What mistakes did you make? What went well? What do you wish you would have known? What questions should I be asking, and who should I be talking to? And by doing that, I was able to help find all those resources, start understanding how are things really working, and be able to hit the ground running. So one project in particular that this helped with is I was doing an organizational assessment for Gillette blades from their manufacturing all the way through all their operations, distribution, to getting the product to the customers like Target and Walmart. And they just launched a new product. They were 7% below filling the cases they promised to customers, which is a really big deal, especially during a product launch, and nobody knew where that was happening. So by learning all of those things, learning those acronyms, learning how do these organizations function, how departments interact with each other, when it came to doing that project, I was able to understand as much as possible how everything interfaces and pinpoint what those problems are causing the case fill rate to be below par. So in the end, I ended up presenting on that project. They were able to find those problems and move forward with that after I left, so I'm not sure what came out of that, but I also was able to get an offer based on that project as well. So doing that by collaboration ended up getting me an offer.